Alright, before we get into it, I'm gonna finish my breakfast. I'm gonna try to eat while I'm talking because I was thinking about something while I was fixing up fixing up my breakfast and shit. We're about like what, today's the February 15th. About like 2 weeks away, 1 week, 2 weeks away from Resident Evil Requiem, Resident Evil 9 Requiem. I want to put in my prediction. I was thinking about this shit, man. Y'all let me know. But I think I might be on to something. I'm just gonna get into it. I'm gonna go rapid fire and kind of fill in the holes if I leave some shit out. Hopefully I don't leave some shit out. But I think Resident Evil Requiem, they're gonna pull like a Phantom Pain on us. Like, it's Resident Evil 9, but it, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you call it? The trademark, you know what I'm saying? You know how they had with the 5, with the Metal Gear 5, right? Metal Gear Solid 5. We all thought it was like the next iteration in the Metal Gear Solid series, but it kind of took a spin on it. You know what I'm saying? It was like a double entendre with Venom. Bear with me, okay? 9, when you flip it upside down and shit, it's a 6, right? I take it that this is gonna be like a love letter to like Requiem is gonna be Resident Evil 6 done right. You know what I'm saying? You know how they did, like they was trying to be on some like Marvel shit, but they had the Chris Redfield, you know, Leon, like everybody was, but they have some new characters and shit too that we never heard about again. That dude with the blonde hair, that was like, I don't know, like wasn't he like a T-virus or some shit? I never played it. I have it. I should went back and play it. I should have went back for like some pre-game shit, you know. But we, from my knowledge, we never like heard of this dude again. Like he's like Redcon or some shit. But I found Requiem, you know, and it's telling, you know what I'm saying? This is a fact, you know, that they're bridging the gap between old Capcom and new Capcom with Ethan Winter's story, his daughter, I forget her name. With, you know what I'm saying, with the classic, like it's canon, you know, like they're pulling like some Marvel shit. Even though stylistically they're all kind of different in some ways, you know what I'm saying, the first person and the third person shit. But in this one, like, what was the State of Play or the award show, the Game Awards, when they first showed it off and shit, it's confirmed that Leon Kennedy's segments are in third person, right? So that's just building more evidence, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying that like that's just building what I'm trying to say. So again, still bear with me and shit. While I try to like fill in the pieces and shit. But yeah, we got that's a fact. They're bridging the gap between, you know what I'm saying, old Capcom and new Capcom and shit. Damn, I just lost train of thought. Oh, it's coming back. Fuck, man. Damn, I wasn't prepared for this shit. I wish I would have just... Damn, I should have written this shit down, man, because I'm like, nah, bro, I think I'm on to something. Yeah, man. Alright, I'm gonna just freestyle it and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think that's what I think that they're going with. Like, this is gonna be Resident Evil 6 done right and shit. This is gonna be like an apology letter to Resident Evil 6. You know, we're gonna see everybody. We're gonna see. I'm almost 90% sure. Spoilers if you haven't beat Village. You know what I'm saying? With the surprise post-credit scene with Albert Wesker. You know what I'm saying? Like he's still around kicking it and shit. You know what I'm saying? Plotting. You know. I take it he has his hand in whatever next virus. You know what I'm saying? Uprising, Requiem. Hence the name, like, you know, of like some like the undead, you know what I'm saying, like a new virus and shit, right? So I'm almost 98% sure he's gonna make a return. You know what I'm saying? Like actually be in the game. Like we're seeing them. We might even get some boss fights and shit if we on our side, or the bad side, we don't know. I take it most of the time, like, you can't just go, this nigga, like, turn good and shit. Like, he's still evil. Chris Redfield, I feel like I'm about 80% sure that he's gonna be in the game too. You know, either Wong, if Leon's in it, you already know. Like, they're like yin and yang and shit. And Parvati and Shiva, like, what's Leon Kennedy without, you know what I'm saying? Ada Wong. We're gonna have Claire Redfield. You know what I'm saying? We might even get that new dude. I mean, that from Resident Evil 6, the dude we just never heard of again and shit. I could be wrong, but that's just a pie in the sky idea. Like, he might make a return. But yeah, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Resident Evil 9 is basically just a love letter to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Resident Evil 6. You flip the 6 upside down. Let's go back to the bullet points. Then you flip the 6 upside and the 9 upside down, excuse me, it's the 6 and shit. Requiem, like, they really, you know, I mean, Resident Evil 7 always kind of like, I mean, Resident Evil, like, the new one, when it started with 7, they always, like, that was going back to its roots, you know. It was called Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, but the Biohazard was not an acronym. I'm trying to think of the term, like, the double entendre, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, it's a new, like, they had to do it, say 7 commercially, because it's like, you know, it would have confused the fuck out of people. But the Biohazard, you know, we all know, you know what I'm saying? I take it if you're a Resi fan, or at least have any knowledge, you know what I'm saying, of Resident Evil, the history of it in Japan is called Biohazard, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's them going back to their roots, you feel me? Resident Evil 9, I feel like they're doing the same shit. Like, okay, like, we have to, you know what I'm saying, kind of have to let people, get people interested, like, okay, yeah, this is a continuation of the series, but it's not Resident Evil 9, you feel me, like, quote unquote, you feel me? I don't know where it stops, you feel me? I guess my guess, if I were to take a guess, a shot in the dark, Resident Evil 5 is where it, like, chronologically stops, you know what I'm saying? Because Village, like, again, spoilers if you haven't played Village, and I'm gonna get to that, the name too. Like, it's that, okay, now that we on topic with that, the name shit, Village, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, it's a part of the Ethan Winters story, you feel me? Like, with the Biohazard shit, like, it's bringing back to its root, like, everything I said before and shit, right? With Resident Evil 7 just being like a soft reboot, you know what I'm saying? Relaunch, whatever you want to call it. It's so fucking confusing, right? But it's still cool. Like, it's crazy how they pulled it off. Anyways, I digress. Resident Evil Village, like, Resident Evil 8 isn't really Resident Evil 8. It's Resident Evil Village. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're doing this with 9 again too. Like, okay, like, this is Requiem. They're just bringing it, weaving it all together. You feel me? The old classic shit, the old, you know, Leon, Wesker. You know what I'm saying? Everybody with the Resident Evil that they grew up on in this new story with the Ethan Winters shit. Oh yeah, but going back to that, there was a boss fight, you know, the classic line, he was like, oh, you boulder punching bitch. I feel like, while, yeah, that was a cool, I think it was more than an Easter egg, you feel me? That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like that was super, you know, one, it was canon, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was confirmed, that just confirmed it that, you know, that Resident Evil 5 is canon and shit, you know what I'm saying, to the story. But I take it time frame wise that it probably took place around the same time, you know what I'm saying, around that, or like a little after, well, of course, a little after, like, Chris Redfield's story, you know what I'm saying, when he, you know what I mean, when he was in Africa and shit with Shiva. Damn, speaking about her, who knows? We might even get to see her again. You know, she might be still out and about again, man. Like, I feel like I feel it in my bones. I just wanted to get that out there because I haven't really heard anybody talking about it. You know, they probably did, but I haven't came across it. So I just wanted to get it out there. You know what I'm saying? Get it off my chest and shit. I apologize in advance. It wasn't as cohesive and as prepared. It sounded better in my head. But I think I articulate. I think I get what I was trying to say. But yeah, man, I'm excited, bro. Even if 50% of what I said, like, even if we do see Albert, you know what I'm saying, that'll be enough for me. I'm not even gonna lie. Maybe Chris too. I think that's a huge possibility too. We might get to see like all of them on screen together. Holy shit, that's like, now that's cinema. You feel me right there. But yeah, y'all let me know. If anybody happens to come across this before the release, Resident Evil Requiem. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stop calling it 9. I'm gonna start calling it Requiem because I really feel like, you know what I'm saying, like that's what they were going for. You know what I'm saying? And it works. You know, Konami and with Hideo Kojima, with the like that was genius. You know what I'm saying? And then Capcom followed next. You know what I'm saying? Sued next with with the Biohazard shit. So it can be very, you know, marketing wise, you know, like it works. You know what I'm saying? Like putting the 9 there, you know what I'm saying, to not to confuse their consumers, but you know, for the Resident Evil fans or the people that get what I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like that's why I brought that in for an example with the Phantom Pain. You know, that's kind of like a wink at the camera to like, oh, we see what's going on and shit, you know. Like, this really isn't, you know, it's a part of the story, but it's really not 9, you know. So I'll take it like the next Resident Evil, right? I mean, the next one I heard they're gonna focus on and I think that's smart, you know what I'm saying? Like, do the fucking remakes, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all already solidified yourself. Like, y'all Capcom is back. Like, y'all the kings of this shit now, you know what I'm saying? Now it's up to, it's in the hands of Konami to really follow suit. And speaking on that, I'm not going to stick on that for, you know, that long, but from what I've heard, from what I've seen and heard, because I haven't played F, but again, like at the time I'm recording this, the state of play, you know what I'm saying, release, and you know, unless you're living under a rock, so I'll take it if you watching this vid, you know, that you're at least, you know what I mean, if you're not a Resident Evil fan, you're at least, you're not only a Resident Evil fan, you're a Silent Hill fan as well. The latter, or you know, you have some type of knowledge. But yeah, Resident Evil, I'm saying that to say this, Resident Evil, what is it, Townfall, you know, they showed that off on a state of play. So yeah, that looks pretty good, I'm not even gonna lie. You know, coming from a die-hard Silent Hill fan, that's saying a lot, you know. I'm kind of impartial to F. I have to play it to really make my own judgment. I've heard mixed things, you know, that it's a good game, but a Silent Hill game, like, they don't even claim that shit. But you know, that game, that series has been fucking in limbo. You know, it's kind of weird. It's the position they're in right now, like, you know. But Townfall, I'm kind of actually pretty excited. Like, you know, it's only, they can't just remake all of them and shit, you know. And I mean, they could, but quick fast money and shit, you know. But they gotta really solidify and really like carve a different path, you know, and show their fans that Silent Hill can live on, you know what I mean? But like new iterations and shit. For, you know, I'm optimistic. I'm skeptically optimistic about it. But Townfall, I will say it looks good. But yeah, going back just to wrap that up, what I about Requiem and shit. Yeah, it's again, this is all just some pie in the sky shit. But I think I had to get that out, man. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying too. Like, they said their next one, they're gonna be considering, or if it's not in early production, it's in full production, because that's been floating around for a couple of years now. I think around the same time Resident Evil 2. They probably have like a whole roadmap and shit, you know, on the Capcom Resident Evil games that are gonna remake. But Code Veronica, that's been rumored for years that was supposed to be remade and shit. It says like what, the launch of the PS4. I never played it, you know what I'm saying? I try to get into it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But it's a beautiful looking game graphically. Like, I feel like it's still, holy shit, that game looks good, even on the Dreamcast. But that'll be dope to see like the other ones, like the smaller titles, you know, get their love and shit, you know. Fingers fucking crossed we'll get to see Outbreak File 1 and 2, you know what I'm saying? Either, you know what I'm saying, remade from the ground up, or just like a new spin on it. I'm like, holy shit, bro. I feel like that's needed, you know what I mean? Like a multiplayer or single player, you know what I mean? Because that game, you could definitely play a single player. It's a traditional classic horror Resident Evil game through and through. Like, you don't have to play with people. But I think it will work a lot, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, when it releases, maybe I'll make a part 2 of this and shit, you know, have like a spoiler talk and shit. I'm excited, man. Super fucking excited. Yeah, I haven't played the last, what was it? I think it was Village. I don't think there was any other one after Village. You know, I think they had the verses and shit like that, but I haven't returned to like any of the older ones since. You know, I played, of course, the this is before I even started uploading shit to my like channel and shit, but I played 4 remake, of course, 2, you know. Never played through 1 all the way through. 5 I played mostly all the mainline ones, but you know, like, it's been some time. Like, I'm ecstatic because I'm more excited to see Ethan Winters, to be honest with you. Like, I'm praying to God like we get to see some type of continuation with that. That was my nigga, dog. They did, bro. What if I feel like that doesn't get talked about enough, you know? You know, you get the Joels, and we talk about Arthur Morgan with their like heroicism and shit, you know what I'm saying, being the sacrifice. But like Ethan Winters, bro, that shit had me choked up. You ain't gonna be lying. You ain't gonna have me lying, dog. That shit fucked me up. I'm like, damn. And this is coming from somebody who hasn't played through 7 like that, because it got like, I was more of a Voyager, you know what I'm saying? That was around the time I'm like, okay, like, it's all over the internet, might as well just watch somebody play the game. But by the time that I did get in my hands, like, I've done seen everything about it, so I'm like, what's the fucking point, you know what I mean? But Village, I went into blind, you know, I made it an effort, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, like, I want to play this in a funnel, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to, no distractions, played it from start to finish, fucking loved it, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a huge RE4 fan. That was my first Resident Evil game ever, Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube. Growing up in the going back up, what the fuck, I'm still waking up, bear with me. But back in 2005, you know what I'm saying? So Resident Evil Village, I'm like, holy shit, this is, you know what I'm saying? Well, something still gotta be explained. You feel me? Resident Evil Village, that's the shit, you know what I'm saying? I pick that over, you know, people, they have their own taste and shit. Some people like 7 more because there's more tradition, you know what I'm saying, horror and shit, like the return to form. But I fucking love Village, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, Requiem blends the two, weaves it together. I haven't seen any trailers. I just tuned it out, you know what I'm saying, now, like, since the state of play. Because all these gaming leaks, I said it before and I'll say it again, like, off script, on, you know what I'm saying, other gameplays that I've uploaded on my, you know what I'm saying, walkthroughs and shit. But I'm just babbling, yapping and shit. But I think I do have a video about it on my channel, how, you know, leaks are ruining gaming and shit, you know what I'm saying, the wow factor, I should say, verbatim, you know, I said it like that. And you know, again, like, I think the Leon shit, they could have kept that, you feel me? It would have been nice to see that at Elite, you know what I mean, like, at Elite, if not at the state of play, not at all, you know what I mean? I would have been fucking, I would have lost my shit, you know what I mean? Like, just as for Resident Evil fans, you know what I mean? I'm speaking on for them. Like, you know, they pull like a Sons of Liberty, you know what I'm saying, where it's like you think you're playing as, you know, I mean, that's kind of different, you know what I'm saying, but you get when I'm going with the analogy and shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, or I guess we can, a better example would be the Phantom Pain again, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, when you think you're playing as this one character, but then you know what I mean, you introduce this other dude and shit like that, and you're like, holy shit, like, what the fuck? Like, it would have been so cool to see that, you know what I mean, if they would just kept it under wraps. I don't think they would have been able to, you know what I'm saying, obviously, one being, you know what I'm saying, the leaks and shit, and also that, you know, it's kind of probably hard to show, you know what I mean, hide that from the trick, because I feel like the Leon shit is pretty early on in the game, like, you know, like, marketing wise, they had to talk about it, you know what I'm saying, let the cat out of the bag eventually and shit. But yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I just wanted to get that off. I'm gonna splice this vid up and upload it and shit. But yeah, I was thinking about that, man, and I'm like, damn, like, holy shit, that's actually, I haven't heard anybody really talking about it like that. But if again, like, if even 50-80% of what I'm saying is true, bro, like, I'll be satisfied. But I think I kind of feel it in my bones, man, like, that's what they're going with this, like, they're, you know, And again, you know, just based off of everything that I said before, you know what I'm saying, with Village and, you know what I'm saying, and through the trailers and shit, and just like now with their track record, you know, like, it's not no, you know, they won't shy away from bring back returning characters and shit like that, you know, with Chris and I'm pretty sure Ethan is gonna play a part, being that his fucking daughter is the main lead in this shit. But yeah, I'm just rambling at this fucking point on now. Yeah, I'm gonna splice this shit up, and hopefully, like again, like I said, I might make like a part 2 or something and talk about it, you know. That's one of them games where it's like you have to, holy shit, you know, you sit, you gotta let it marinate, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so much to talk about, so much lore and shit. So yeah, I think that's something that I'm gonna do, you know. Comes out what, the 28th, the preload shit. I pre-ordered that shit. I haven't pre-ordered the game in, felt like a year, bro. But that's one where I'm like, yeah, I want that shit loaded up to my system. I take that back. Like, I'll pre-order a game like a day before or some shit, you know. But this is one of the first games where it's like I downloaded, you know, I mean, I pre-ordered like way in advance, you know what I'm saying? Well, not that in advance, but like at least like I pre-ordered it like at the end of January and shit, you know what I'm saying, which is kind of foreign to me. Now being that, you know, like I'll wait, let them iron out the kinks with the bugs and glitches and shit. You know, if it's on Game Pass, and that's the whole nother, you feel me? Like, I could just try that, you know, uninstall it or wait, you know, like, ain't really no loss or shit. But buying the game is kind of like, this day and age, you just never know and shit. It's kind of like a boon and a bane and shit. But yeah, I'm finished my breakfast. This time at this point, I'm just yapping. Yeah, I'm gonna mute my mic real quick and put my dish back, and we gonna trip away at this story. I'm fucking, this is tough, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. This so much fucking content, bro. Like that Hub World shit actually blew me away. I looked at back at my old VOD and shit. It should be still up. But the last playthrough, okay, so that's confirmed that that's a real fucking movie. After a while, like the more and more I'm like, is this AI? Like, I've never seen it, you know what I'm saying? But it's not. It's called the Spookies. Because when I uploaded it, like I'll set it in private and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, put it in the VODs, exporting it from my VOD on Twitch, and I uploaded it on my channel, and I got hit with the joint, like, oh, like nobody can see it because it's blocked, because, you know what I'm saying, the licensing joint, the Spookies, 1986, and I'm like, oh shit. So it made me want to do my research. I still gotta look into whether, like, why they even, you know what I'm saying, because I feel like it was probably intentional. I still think that maybe one of the devs or something, like, you know, maybe their parents or something, like I said, the dude Barry, that skateboarding guy, like, he kind of, I think that may be probably like his dad or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Like one of the actors that played in the movie or something. Like, I don't know. I think it's probably had like a sentimental attachment. Regardless, it's cool that they put it in there like a fucking full-length movie, right? You know what I'm saying? You could just sit there and just watch. Like, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, and it made me more excited just for the future of gaming, because if this game is gonna do it, I'll take it. GTA 6 is gonna do some shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like their own, like, within their own movie. Maybe not real movies and shit, but like, you know, like their own. How cool that would be, like, to see like a fan-made Red Dead 2. You know what I'm saying? Film, Western, at your safe house and shit. You know, with Jason and Louisa. That would be fucking hot. And they're like commenting and shit and like making, like, you know what I'm saying, like on a date. That would be hot. I ain't gonna lie. That would add to like the simulator, you know, aspect. You know what I'm saying? What they're going for and shit. What it looks like with GTA 6. Some like dating sim shit. But yeah, that's going back to highlights. So yeah, that shit blew me the fuck away. And then the arcade with the game cartridges and shit. you know, and then Spencer's, you feel me? I'm like, what the fuck, like, bro, this shit just like, it's just fucking like, it just oozes so much style, and it's like, it's never a dull moment, you know what I mean? Like, this game has a lot going for it. I didn't look into any reviews, but when I clicked on it and shit, just like, it did a little quick search, I seen like 6 out of 10. I'm like, the fuck these people talking about? Again, like, I'm impartial to them things because it doesn't take away from my experience, you know. And it shouldn't for anybody else too. Like, if I think something is a 6, it don't, like, it could be a fucking 10 in somebody else's eye. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it did kind of make me scratch my head. Like, did these people play the same game? Like, and again, this is coming from somebody who hasn't even finished High and Light. I thought it was good for what it was, like, you know what I mean, the first High and Light, but I got kind of bored with it and just moved on to other things and shit, you know what I'm saying? It don't take away if it's great or not. Again, I just didn't have the mental bandwidth at the time, but this, like, I'm way more engaged, you know what I'm saying? It enticed me way more than the first one, you know what I'm saying? What this shit is doing, you know? Like, that's how you pull people in. It's like, it's just never a fucking dull moment, you know what I'm saying? For a game that's very kind of, I don't want to say mediocre, but like, the gameplay can get repetitive, I guess. Like, it's just, you're just shooting and, you know what I mean? You're shooting shit. Yeah, the skateboard makes a big difference too with the mobility and shit, but it's basically just Doom, you know what I'm saying? With a Doom Tony Pro Skater shit, you know what I mean? But it's still, you know what I mean? There's other shit in there, like, kind of mean, like, okay, like, if you don't want to shoot shit, then, you know what I'm saying? You can just chill out and shit. I think that's missing in a lot of games. Rockstar is really good at it. Deep Silver is really good at it. When the devs behind Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2, from what I played, I barely scratched the surface with that. But yeah, you could just lose hours and hours, you know what I'm saying, doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the side quests and the blacksmith, and I don't know if you can like be a farmer and like tend to your sheep or whatever, but like, or if you can buy houses, but I can only, I'm pretty sure you could, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you do an RPG. And then again, like, you know, like this shit like this, it just makes me excited, you know what I'm saying? Not to sound redundant, but like, just for the future of like games, because I'm like, if y'all doing shit like this, and this is a fairly, you know, while it does have the Microsoft financial backing, I kind of still, you know what I'm saying, Squanch Games, like, that's not, you know, they're pretty, that's an independent studio, you know. So it's pretty dope that they're doing for a game that's kind of like, you know, it sounds hard. We're just gonna go with that generic, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying, as far as like gameplay and shit. They're doing a lot of remarkable shit, you know. But yeah, let me I'ma clean up and shit, cause I don't like having dishes in my room. Mute my mic real quick. I'll let my dog out. So I had her in her cage a little bit. I fed her. I'm gonna let her back in and shit. I just wanted to get myself situated without her fucking following me around the house and shit. But yeah, let me do that, and then we gonna chip away at the story and shit.